A president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective. The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost and we may have casualties. That often happens in war. But we're doing this not for now. We're doing this for the future.
That sounded familiar. Didn't that sound familiar to y'all, that speech?
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
That's it. That's it. That's it right there. What's that, from Shrek? Yeah, I knew I had heard that before. Now, if Trump is Lord Farquaad, then who would the donkey be? I don't even think it would be a Shrek. It would just be Lord Farquaad and just a bunch of donkeys. Shout out to all the subscribers and members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. My name is Reese Waters, and this is Street Politics. Now, there I was, checking in on the rampant homelessness problem in California.
Homelessness, almost 30% of Californians are homeless on any given night. 30%. What? That is the largest margin by far.
30%?
I think it's 28. So close to 30% of their population is homeless on any given night.
Does that just mean they go out to dinner and they're not at home?
Maybe.
Does that mean my kids are homeless now? I mean, they just at school, but they not at home. Also, does that mean I stepped out of the marriage? Just that I'm here in the studio and not in the bedroom?
Television show? Oh, Vanessa.
Do you know how bad your information has to be for Fox News not to run with it? That's crazy. She thought it was sweet. She was like, I can go with Fox News. I can literally just tell them anything. And even they was like, I mean, we can't do that. That's going to take too much detergent to launder that. It really is. Well, I can't wait to see how they cover this.
So I don't think anyone can give you a simple answer as to what happens next in Iran if the supreme leader and the regime were to fall, other than the hope that there would be some ability to have somebody within their systems that you could work towards a similar transition. I would imagine it would be even far more complex than the one we're describing now, because you're talking about a regime that's in place for a very long time. So that's going to require a lot of careful thinking if that eventuality ever presents itself.
So either Rubio misdirecting there or not in the loop that this was imminent? Your thoughts?
You know, or he's just giving analysis almost as like a passive observer, because to echo something Mark said, the only thing we heard in that speech from Trump about essentially a potential endgame inside of Iran is a call for the Iranian people to rise up. That literally was the only plan that could be identified in that speech for what happens after you decapitate the leadership of the Islamic Republic. And as John said, the regime very much remains in place. And the challenge with this is, you know, Trump may want to go along with this for a period of time and then, you know, call it quits. But inside of Iran and in the region, we could see all manner of consequences. We don't know how this is going to play out.
There is no issue that divides the MAGA movement more than a hot war with Iran. There is dissent and dissatisfaction over the perceived cover-up of the Epstein files, but there's a hot war inside Trump's coalition. Mark Levin, Sean Hannity, Brian Kilmeade among the cheerleaders for a war against Iran. Today I saw that Mark Levine called Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson, quote, traitors.
Board of Peace launches first ever war. And the saddest thing about it, we all saw that coming. We literally, when they made that board, they literally all saw it coming. Actually, that's the second saddest thing about it. The saddest thing about it is probably that Trump would put a plaque of Board of Peace launches first ever war on his wall. Alongside, Donald Trump becomes first FIFA World Cup Peace Prize winner to bomb 2 countries after receiving the Peace Prize. FIFA, y'all asked for this. Y'all asked for all of it. Welcome. Yeah, no, welcome. Yeah, and believe me, there'll be a lot more dragging where that came from when it comes time for the World Cup. Now, see, we just getting started. We already see how the world has reacted to not only FIFA, not only the Board of Peace, but the United States of America. This is how it was before the attack. I ain't seen them booing like that since Showtime at the Apollo. I thought they were going to bring out Australian Sandman on the national anthem. That was it in the before times. Now I see why the Olympics went like that. Because you know how hard it is to just be playing road games? Like, you're the only country that's playing road games just because of, the United States of America. The shamelessness knows no bounds. President Donald J. Trump monitors U.S. military operations in Iran, Operation Epic Fury. I think they just have full-time meme makers, not only doing the posts, but also naming the operations here full-time. They're going to have an Operation Mog soon.
You serious?
I'm glad this is a new phenomenon, because back in the day, we would have been looking at Operation Weed a Bomb and Operation Raise the Roof. But the only thing I could maybe give you some credit for, literally in all of this, the one piece of credit I will give you, is Pete Hegseth's not in there, is he? Don't think we didn't notice. Don't think we didn't notice that Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, ain't in the Situation Room post that the White House put out. Y'all don't trust him either, do you? Y'all don't trust him. Y'all told us it was nothing to worry about. But he mysteriously missing during this moment. And his wife not in there either. I know she got high classification. That's crazy.
Stop the cap.
If I was him, I would storm in there with my nameplate. Don't it say Secretary of War? Huh? What y'all doing? Bring in the secretary. Maybe should have covered up the board showing U.S. asset locations and enemy location intelligence. Y'all did all that, telling Pete Hegseth it was a happy hour down the block to lock him out of the Situation Room just to take a photo with that board. And you know what? Hold up. Is that an Apple Watch? Does Susie Wiles have on an Apple Watch? I guess Tim Cook must have high classification. I guess that's what that is. That's wild. He got the same classification that Pete Hegseth's wife got. They can just go in anywhere at any point in time. Wow. Security. America. All the money we pay in taxes. A whole Apple Watch got the board. You know what I mean? But we supposed to trust. You know what? Speaking of trust, so let me get this straight. Last time we were talking about Iran, didn't y'all say that y'all had destroyed their nuclear capability? Imagine starting a major war with Iran over their nuclear program when this is on the official White House website. Iran's nuclear facilities have been obliterated and suggestions otherwise are fake news. They literally put fake news on the official White House website. I feel sorry for the next president. It's just going to be so dingy in there. It's just going to be so dingy in there. I mean, that's crazy. But not crazier than the fact that you expect us all to have our memories scrubbed every 6 to 7 weeks, maybe every 6 to 7 hours. And by the way, I have a whole separate piece on the MAGAification of the timeline. Yeah, that's right. Acting like we don't know how the internet works. We know all that y'all had said about Iran, but considering that their facilities were supposed to be obliterated, yet you justify a whole attack.
You don't find that suspicious?
That's why I always tell people, you have to be mindful of what you communicate to your friend group about your relationship. You gotta be mindful of that, because you done painted a rosy picture, acted like he was chocolate Fabio, and now you break up talking about he cheating, got a whole separate family cross town, and forced you to raise his other kids. You know what I mean? Like, you can't, those don't go together.
President Trump has advocated all kinds of reasons for this unnecessary war with Iran. It's because of their nuclear program. Wait a minute, 6 months ago, he said he'd obliterated the program. Years ago, he tore up a diplomatic deal that was controlling Iran's nuclear program.
Whose diplomatic deal? Huh? Whose diplomatic deal? All right. Put some respect on his name.
He suggested last night the war was justified because Iran interfered in the 2020 election that he refuses to concede that he lost. It's to protect protesters. Wait a minute, President Trump is sending Iranian refugees back into Iran to face persecution. If he cared about Iranian citizens being oppressed by their government, he wouldn't be doing that at the same time. This was a war without, I can say this, I'm on 2 committees that give me access to a lot of classified information. There was no imminent threat from Iran to the United States that warrants sending our sons and daughters into yet another war in the Middle East, and I'm going to do everything I can to stop it.
Now that is interesting, knowing that you've already gone on record that their nuclear facilities are destroyed. The only reason you could turn right back around and justify attacking Iran would be if it's something that the people overwhelmingly request. Do you support or oppose the U.S. using military force to attack Iran? A whopping 49% of U.S. adult citizens somewhat or strongly oppose. Only 27% of Americans actually support attacking Iran. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me this man went and had fake posters of a kegger plastered all around Pete Hegseth's home to lock him out of the Situation Room so they could go in and unilaterally attack Iran, something that only 27% of Americans support, when that makes you out to be a liar based on everything previously that you said about Iran and their nuclear capabilities? Why would you do a thing like that?
Not stopped. Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year. It could be within a few months.
They have the wherewithal, the stored up, preserved knowledge to make a bomb very quickly if they wanted to do it.
Iran is so dangerous. Weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
They're very close. They're 6 months away from being about 90% of having the enriched uranium for an atom bomb.
Iran is gearing up to produce 25 bombs, atomic bombs a year, 250 bombs in a decade.
Ladies and gentlemen, time is running out.
Iran will be capable of producing alone, without importing anything, nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 years.
Everybody knows the only reason we're having this war is because Israel wants it. This is their last chance, they believe. This presidency is the last presidency where they're going to have unequivocal bipartisan support. Period. You can't primary every Thomas Massie, and there's a whole army of them coming at some point because everyone can see what's going on. And you can shut down X, and you can shut down the internet. You can be like Great Britain and arrest people who protest Israel, but attitudes are not going to revert to what they were 5 years ago. Sorry. And they know this. So this is their last chance.
Last dance, last chance for love. I need you by me, beside me, to guide me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Donna Summer don't get her flowers.
What's so amazing is that Israel, which at least is acting in what it perceives to be its own national interest, is joined by its shills in the United States, of course. But really, its only other ally in this is the American news media, whose job it is to tell you the truth and inform you as to what's happening, to tell you, hey, wake up. The world could be changing, and it's going to affect you and your family. That's their job. And instead, they've been lulling you to sleep with the same variety of transparent lies and propaganda.
Now that is fascinating. It was Israel's last chance because of turning perception on the country despite the efforts of mainstream media. And no doubt you saying that publicly, Tucker Carlson, means, Laura Loomer, that train is never late. President Trump should obliterate Tucker Carlson and banish him from the White House. He's undermining the United States and our national security. He should be forced to register with FARA by the DOJ Pam Bondi. He's an enemy to America and must be completely ostracized. First of all, I wouldn't go saying people should register with FARA because we're going to have that post when there's a new administration. Careful. And don't think your own MAGAs didn't notice. Laura Loomer is now quite literally calling directly for President Trump to unalive Tucker Carlson. This is pure evil, and the woman is pathologically insane. Now I understand why she doesn't have a position in the Trump administration. This woman is Israel first. That's right, Laura Loomer. Remember what you're fighting for. Quite fascinating that him making the very obvious observation of the disconnect between the mainstream media and public perception of all parties involved is something that makes him an enemy of America. Yeah, those kind of takes are giving gas to the entire thing. That's right. And speaking of which, while we're talking about the will of the American people, this wouldn't have had anything to do with that either, would it, Trump?
The Trump family just launched a brand new cryptocurrency. It is called WLFI. Lauren, how much has the Trump family itself accumulated of this? How much?
Yeah, for World Liberty Financial and the Wall Street Journal says it's $5 billion. So this coin, WLFI, is currently the 33rd largest coin by market cap, about $6 billion worth, according to CoinGecko. The family holds about a quarter of the tokens out there. They can't sell them, but now that the token has launched on the public markets, we have a valuation for it. The Wall Street Journal says this token is the family's most valuable asset, exceeding their property portfolio.
But they can't sell those tokens. They can't do it.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. Correct. Not yet.
My goodness me. $5 billion?
Eye-popping numbers. He is the crypto president, the first one ever. Yeah. A lot of crypto-friendly legislation, regulation.
What it amounts to is it's crypto-friendly legislation coming from the president of the United States, who is in turn cashing in on the crypto phase. Personally, his family.
Conflict of interest. They say no, but that's how it appears.
That's true.
Oh, so even on the Fox side of things, they're starting to notice the grift. Laura Loomer better keep her head down. Yeah, she gonna end up on the Summer Jam screen before too long. That's wild. Hey, Fox Business, get Wall Street Journal. Didn't he sue Wall Street Journal? Get Wall Street Journal. I want to show y'all something. Trump had different views on Iran when Obama was president. Let's see. In order to get elected, Barack Obama will start a war with Iran. Barack will attack Iran to get reelected. I predict that President Obama will at some point attack Iran in order to save face. Remember that I predicted a long time ago that President Obama will attack Iran because of his inability to negotiate properly, not skilled. Can we get somebody to fix that? Get one of those meme makers over at the White House to fix these old tweets. Now that my poll numbers are in tailspin, watch for me to launch a strike in Iran. I am desperate. That was it. Well done. Well done. See, in the before times, I would have thought maybe this was predictive text. You know, they just, maybe he keep posting the same thing just because, you know, that's something that he had preloaded in there and it keeps, but now we know better. We know that, every accusation is an admission. And by the way, Wall Street Journal, and Fox Business, he didn't just tweet that. No, we got video as well.
These globalists want to squander all of America's strength, blood, and treasure, chasing monsters and phantoms overseas. In addition, there must also be a complete commitment to dismantling the entire globalist neocon establishment that is perpetually dragging us into endless wars, pretending to fight for freedom and democracy abroad. We should have never gone into the Middle East. We should have never gone into the Middle East. Under my leadership, we will turn the page forever on those foolish, stupid days of never-ending wars. We're rebuilding our military stronger than ever before, and we are not going to deplete it again on stupid, senseless, endless wars. World War III has never been closer than it is right now. We need to clean house of all of the warmongers and America last globalists in the deep state. I am the president who delivers peace. I was the first president in decades who didn't start a war. And the worst, most incompetent, most corrupt president in history is going to drag us into World War III. And this horrible, horrible president is dragging us toward World War III. We're going to be in World War III soon. Because I think we would have been good with Iran. I don't want to do anything bad to Iran. Large sections of the Middle East. I mean, look at the death and destruction that's taken place. And none of this would have happened if I were president. Our opponents join with warmongers and neocons to wage endless wars, these wars that never end. Together we're fighting to secure our borders, end the endless foreign wars, and defend the working people of America. But the Muslim and Arab voters in Michigan and across the country want a stop to the endless wars and a return to peace in the Middle East. That's all they want. Speaking of World War III, I'll keep you out of World War III. What would happen if we had a war? We won't, with me, but you will have World War III, I believe, without me, but we won't have. I will be sure that World War III will not happen. I'm the only one can say it won't happen. But I stand here today, and I'm the only candidate who can make this promise. I will prevent, and very easily, World War III, very easily.
Trump, wasn't this you? Vote the pro-peace ticket. Vote Trump Vance. From the official GOP account, no less. He will bring everybody down with him. He will. I guess Trump said, well, if we go in and take over countries, then it's not a foreign war, right? It's not because that's us. So then, like, you know, if we go up to Greenland next and it becomes part of America, that's not a foreign war after we take it over. And by the way, JD, don't think we noticed you cheesing on that photo neither. JD, this you? Trump's best foreign policy, not starting any wars. He has my support in 2024 because I know he won't recklessly send Americans to fight overseas. Just like a true MAGA, there's always a tweet. Here we got an article. And JD Vance, we got video. Huh? IKEA. No, IKEA didn't send me no video. We talking about Iran right now.
Yeah. But America's interest is sometimes going to be distinct. Like sometimes we're going to have overlapping interests and sometimes we're going to have distinct interests. And our interest, I think, very much is in not going to war with Iran, right? It would be a huge distraction of resources. It would be massively expensive to our country.
So why would you do a thing like that then?
Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective.
Hey, call them meme makers back. Hey, yeah, get them meme makers. Can we get a split screen, like a before and after?
Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective. The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost and we may have casualties. That often happens in war. But we're doing this not for now. We're doing this for the future.
That's crazy. Not even just the hypocrisy, the idea that somebody's supposed to believe he doing this for the future. He don't even care about his party. And we supposed to believe he left the whole Republican Party in shambles. They got people signing up to retire because of the shambles he has left that party in, and he talk about he doing it for the future. He got any other whoppers in there?
The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost and we may have casualties. That often happens in war. But we're doing this not for now. We're doing this for the future. And it is a noble mission. We pray for every service member as they selflessly risk their lives to ensure that Americans and our children will never be threatened by a nuclear-armed Iran.
Now, is that his speech now, or is that his speech from 6 months ago? Is that the one from 6 months ago where they had destroyed the... Oh, no, that's the now one after that. Okay, I got you. That sounded familiar. Didn't that sound familiar to y'all, that speech?
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
That's it. That's it right there. What's that, from Shrek? Yeah, I knew I had heard that before. Now, if Trump is Lord Farquaad, then who would the donkey be? I don't even think it would be a Shrek. It would just be Lord Farquaad and just a bunch of donkeys. You know what I mean? Stop it, Lauren Boebert. What's inflation?
What is inflation?
Well, inflation is when the price of things is over is too expensive because of the federal government really squandering the tax dollars. So you have the Green New scam, hundreds of billions of dollars spent there to provide affordable energy, and it was not affordable. It was never free. It was never discounted. That money was taken from the American people and forced into the system. It wasn't a free market.
Hang on. I knew how to get rid of her. Yeah, she's gonna be stumbling over that for the next 2 weeks. Wow, that's crazy that he just up and said that for something they could barely even justify. What's that crowd doing over there? Rich young men lining up at the podiatrist's office for those bone spurs diagnoses. Apparently it's the American way. Ain't that right, MAGA? Ain't that right, MAGA? You know, you go get your bone spurs diagnosis, you might end up on a flag and some mud flaps in the homes of people that did fight. Is this your king?
If you could send one message to Americans 50 years in the future, what would it be?
Don't send your sons to finish what politicians start.
Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Well, we did it. We finally hit another milestone.
Yay!
Hey, put your shirt back on. What you think, you in the cabinet? That's right, we passed 700. I ain't been this excited to pass 700 since I took my SATs. No, that was just on the math section. I didn't have a whole 700 score. Well, see, SATs used to be out of 1600. You know, I'm not going to explain this to y'all. Y'all got me explaining the olden days, got me feeling old. I talk about the good old days and I get up limping for no reason whatsoever. Wikipedia is your friend.
Yeah, boy.
And as we always do, we gonna party. But I would be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to all the people whose work have led us here, starting with our editors, Denzel and Boz.
What?
bro. Let's get straight to it. On my mama, we lit.
If y'all got issues with any of the videos, y'all blame them.
That's cold-blooded.
If you like it, then I did it, because I be editing sometimes too. You know when I edit, because the audio be all over the place. You know, the audio get loud for no reason. That's how you know that I edited something. And of course, I want to give a shout out to my man David Threefall, who is not only responsible for all of the thumbnails, but as well as creating the intros and the outros for Street Politics and Troubled Waters and Races of the Week. He did them all. Who Raised Y'all? He organized and created all of those intros and outros that you see and enjoy on the channel. So shout out to him. And by the way, if you're looking for any of that kind of stuff, make sure you give him a shout. I need it! One day I'm going to show y'all some of the outtakes, some of the rejected scenes from the creation of all of those. That might have to hit the members channel before too long. But if you're looking for any of that kind of work, you can hit me up at admin@ReeseWaters.com and I will pass you along to him. Of course, our head moderator, Mrs. Ray, always keeping things moving and keeping things on point. Shout out to her, as well as for organizing my email. Yeah! Wouldn't nobody get answers if it wasn't for Miss Ray. Y'all just be like seeing an old classmate in the grocery store. I'm just going to keep it pushing. If he don't see me, he won't miss me.
What do you mean by that?
And of course, where would we be without Regina doing the Lord's work on research? She reaches far and wide, and all of the ways in which you guys always talk about how the clips are always on time and relevant, and all the videos are so in depth and you get so much good context. That is thanks to Regina. So shout out to her. But she been sparing Ohio. I've been seeing how y'all been moving Ohio. Regina trying to protect you. It ain't gonna work. I got something for you. I got something for you. Of course, I want to give a shout out to all of our current mods, including lovely Nola, Deshauna, Kristen, and I believe Mimi is on the way as well. Shout out to her. And of course, I got to give a shout out to all the people over at Patreon, especially the people that keep the Patreon chat moving. Did y'all know we have a 24-hour Patreon chat? Patreon.com/ReeseWaters. My man TP and Daniel Witters and Keith Green and Treva, so many people out there, as well as people that actually go from Patreon